Hello and welcome to a new reading vlog. If you move, dang it. I currently have you propped up on a cat. And he is wiggling because I don't have anything else to prop you up on. So if you move, it is because my cat is not the best camera person. Okay, fine. I will find something else to put them on. We are trying once again, because I don't think I've ever actually finished one of these. We are trying a 24-hour reading vlog, but because it is February, because it is Valentine's Day, or the month of Valentine's Day, we're going to be making it romancified. So if you watched my February TBR, you would know that I got 99% romance books, or maybe like 97%. And honestly, I'm so excited about it. I've been in the mood for some fun romance. Maybe a little bit of a spicy romance. So we are going to be trying to read as many books in a 24-hour period on my romance TBR as possible. The goal with this would be to, I have a spreadsheet. It's a very, very basic spreadsheet, but every time I complete a book, I just color in the cell on Google Sheets, and like that's my spreadsheet and it works for me. But the goal would be to get that entire column colored in. I don't think that's going to happen because I am a slow reader and we actually have quite a fair bit of romance books to read. So let's talk about my TBR. So out of my TBR, we have 4 books that are like the main priority. I did, of course, pick 5 as I always do, but one of them is not romance, so it would not count for this vlog. But for that, we have If Only You, which I got for a cover by Till Summer Do Us Part for Goodreads nominee. Learn My Lesson. I think this was for... That's a really good question. I don't remember what this one was for. But we got this one. And then 2 books in the Black Rose auction books. I did learn that one of these has the cheating trope, which I'm not typically a fan of. But it's fine. I'll give it a shot. Okay, can't knock it till we try it. Within that video, we also had a series, which we'll be making some progress in the Four Horsemen series. I only own War. We're going to see about the other 2. If I can get them at some point. If I can't, it's fine. We'll just make progress with the one. And then for a reread, Act Your Age, Eve Brown. So those are the priorities, but if we have enough time, the other romance books on the TBR are What I Should Have Said, which is beautiful, Beneath the Stars, Funny Story, The Paradise Problem, Game On, and last priority, not because I don't want to read it, but because I don't want to read it right now because it's February and this is a Christmas book, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. So we have a lot of options to choose from. I honestly don't know where I'm going to start, and I don't know how we're going to choose. If we're just going to choose whatever we're feeling at the time, maybe we'll do a spinner wheel, maybe we'll do like a D20 or a a D12 actually, because we have exactly 12 books. Maybe we'll do a D12. I think, yeah, probably. Yeah, I think we can do that. That sounds the most fun. I don't actually have a D12 with me right now. I'll have to go and look for one, but the next clip you see will be us choosing which one we're reading. Okay, so I did find a D12, which works. I was originally looking around and I was like, I have like a purple set of these. I'm pretty sure these ones are Benson's, but they're not the ones that Benson typically uses for D&D, so it should be fine to borrow these. But I have a purple set of these and I don't know where they went. But I found a D12. I was gonna use 2 D6s and then I realized that would not work because you can't get a 1 on 2 D6s. It's not how that works. But out of these 12, I do have now a numbered list. Out of these 12, there are a couple that I don't really want to start off with right off the bat, and that is Till Summer Do Us Part, honestly, Beneath the Stars, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. Maybe War, too. I feel like I could just get through some shorter books a little quicker, and that would be, like, super helpful, but let's roll anyway and see what we get. Where? 2. So it's upside down, but it did land on a 2, which works. 2 is learn my lesson. I'm honestly excited and nervous. Very, very nervous about this one. This is the one that Benson is going to judge me for the most. Because when I bought it, I walked up to Benson completely randomly and said Hercules or Captain Hook. And Benson chose Hercules. Of course, not having any context. But this is a polyamorous romance featuring Megara, Hercules, and Hades. And Benson's issue with that is that technically in Greek mythology, these two are related. But I guess this is not his uncle, but it may be his, like, cousin. Because I think his dad, like, he's a Hades Jr. His dad is also named Hades. I don't really know. I'm intrigued to see if we get into the dynamics of this a little bit. But this is what we'll be starting with. So let's start the timer at 24 hours and hopefully we can get through this relatively easily, but be prepared for some Benson judging either in the vlog or in comments. Hello, it's the next day. This vlog is officially starting. It is February 1st. I'm excited to start reading some fun romance. But something that I did not mention yesterday is even though we picked Learn My Lesson for our physical read, I need an audiobook. So we have a D6 here. Because I have 5 options. I went through Libby just to see if any were available on audio. And 5 of them were available through my Libby app, and those options are Act Your Age Eve Brown, Beneath the Stars, Paradise Problem, If Only You, and Game On. If we roll a 6, we'll just roll again. But otherwise, let's see what we end up with here. 5, If Only You. Okay. That one's a nice little, a shorter one, which I'm excited about. Okay, so the 2 we'll be starting with is Learn My Lesson and If Only You, which is good because those are both on the actual February TBR that we need to get through. I'm only rolling for an audio because there are some things that I need to do that require me to not lay in bed and read. So I'll be popping in that audio while I can. And, I also need to watch some movies today. So either way, like, I won't be reading during watching movies, so the audiobook doesn't help us there, but still. That's the plan. We're officially going to start our timer the next time we start reading and hope that we actually finish. We actually finish the timer this time.
It's been a few days. I have started 2 books. At least one of which I plan on finishing today. And obviously we already know what those 2 are because we rolled for them. Duh. So I have started Learn My Lesson. I've been reading that one physically and on Kindle because I took my Kindle to work, and I'll be very honest. Well, like, I like to read at work, like on my break, and bringing that book to work, not so appropriate. So I brought the Kindle so that people weren't looking at the cover and asking questions. So, I've been reading it both. And I'm having a good time with it. Okay, so it is, yes, it's about Hercules, Megara, and Hades. So we open up with Hades and Meg going to a restaurant. And Hades is kind of looking around and saying, like, let's play a game. And Meg's like, oh, Jesus, I'm not in the mood. I don't want to do this. And finally she asks, okay, fine, what kind of game? And he says, go ahead and choose a person to do. And she does. And it ends up being, of course, Hercules. And of course, one thing leads to another. Something happens where Hercules thinks Meg is being forced to do all these things. So he comes to her rescue and basically tells Hades, never make her do anything that she does not want to do again, and you can have me. So he thinks he's saving her. Little does he realize that even though it is a very, very toxic situation, Meg is exactly where she wants to be. It is a really interesting dynamic, and the edition that I'm reading, Katie Robert actually re-released 3 of the books in the series with annotations. So it has like little footnotes in it that just gives you like a little inside peek into her head when she was writing this. And she's pretty much like, she definitely acknowledges this is not a relationship to idolize whatsoever. Like, they are both mean. They both have their meanness streaks, and that is why they fit so well together. Because even though Meg obviously has hope, and like, she's a very interesting character in and of herself, and like Hades is manipulative, Meg is just as much so. And then they bring Hercules into this dynamic, and I assume we're supposed to start seeing little changes in both of them. But then we also get the sense that Hades has like this master plan, and we're not really sure what it is. He just wants to get back at the people who kicked him out of Olympus. So it's been really, really fun to read so far. It is very, very spicy from page 1. It's a fun time. And Benson is definitely going to judge me for liking it as much as I am. And then we have If Only You, which I am obviously more into. 50, almost 60% of the way into that, because I've been listening to it on audio. This I have been listening to at work. So I have not been updating the timer as I've been listening to it, because obviously once I stop the audiobook, I have to also stop the timer, and it's just not, like, if I have to stop the audiobook within like a pinch because I have to help somebody, like, I can't do both super quickly. So I will update the timer after I finish the audiobook with the like length that it took me to read it. Either way, it's all going to add up to the same amount. It's fine. Right now we're at like 21 and a half hours ish left. But obviously when I update that'll be significantly less, and then we'll have to choose a new audiobook. Today is Thursday. I ended up taking a personal day from the school job and found someone to cover my shift from the retail job. So we are chilling today. I might try to get some early chores done and pop in that audiobook while I do. Oh wait, I told you that I was listening to If Only You. I did not tell you what it's about. So this is I don't know if it's the last book in the series, but it's the Bergman, technically brothers, but then like every once in a while we get a sister book and they change it to sisters series. It is very reminiscent of, if I could compare it to 2 things, it's Fix Her Up meets the Cocky Kingmans series. That's exactly what it's like. So this one follows, Ziggy and Sebastian. And they are both in a situation, she's in a situation where her family only sees her as a baby. They still, sit her at the kids' table and they pretty much treat her like she is too young and delicate to deal with any real family issues. Sebastian is a hockey player, and he is known to not really have any close relationships. He uses women. He's a player. He doesn't, like, he's a hard ass. Like, he doesn't, yeah, he doesn't think anybody, like, really, like, cares about him, and he kind of shows that, where he's always getting into trouble and his reputation is shot. So she comes up with an idea where they become fake friends. So it's not like a fake dating, it's a fake friendship, which I think is so interesting. I don't think I've ever read before. I don't think I've ever heard of that trope before. So that was really cute. They basically fake a friendship, and in hopes, and it's in hopes that he makes her personality seem a little bit more mature, and his personality is, his reputation is softer. It's a cute idea. But then, of course, we see more of their moments together and her realizing that he's not as much of an asshole as he comes off, and him realizing that she's not just the baby sister of his best friend. And it's a really, really cute relationship to see how much they care for each other. It also has ADHD and autism representation, which is really interesting to see. I personally think it is a very good representation of it. Other people might have differing opinions. And then, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but he just got diagnosed with celiac disease. And so that has been, obviously, it runs in, like, I know, we have some really close friends that also have celiacs, and it's a good parallel to see. As far as I'm concerned, it is also another good representation. I do not have celiac disease myself, but knowing some close people who do, it does seem like good rep. Overall, though, I don't think this is a new favorite. It does feel like I did just compare them to the two. Like, it doesn't seem like it's doing anything new other than that fake friendship, which obviously has turned into a real friendship. And yeah, it just seems like little things, little tropes, little scenes that I have seen before. And while we are getting the inner monologue of spice and one almost spicy scene, there's not much of that spicy element that the other two I've just compared it to has had. So I've read better. Still having a lot of fun with it. Like, it just feels like a good solid 3-star, and unless something completely comes out of left field and blows it out of the park, then a solid 3 it will be, and there's nothing wrong with that. So every once in a while you need just like a short, silly, fluffy time, and that's exactly what this is. So as of today, don't know what we're gonna do. I ended up waking up a lot later than I wanted to. The first thing we're gonna do, though, is take a shower. I need to take a shower, and then we'll see about getting a head start on some chores so that I won't have to do as many tomorrow. I do need to watch one movie today for the podcast, and then we'll see what we end up doing. I don't know, but reading and watching are definitely on the to-do list. Okay, made dinner, folded the laundry, made the bed, and got distracted by cats. I have also finished a book. I have finished the audiobook. Took me about 4.5 hours, bringing our total with what I have read from Learn Your Lesson. It brings us our total down to 17 hours. That timer went by real quick. I think it's more because physical reads, of course, they take me longer. I am a slower reader than most, which I'm not mad about. I am fine with, in all honesty. Read for the enjoyment, but when you're doing a timer challenge, obviously you want to try to read as many books as possible in that 24 hours. But now I need a new audiobook, especially because I just ordered a diamond painting the other day. I want to get back into diamond paintings and like just chilling and coloring and all my creative-ish hobbies in general. Because, like, I mean, A, yes, it's a square on my bingo board, but B, like, it's a square on my bingo board because I actually want to do them. So, I am gonna chill for a little bit and maybe do one of those, I didn't finish all of the chores that I want to do tonight, so we'll see what I end up doing. Either way, though, we need to roll for a new audiobook. So, we have 4 other options because we have finished If Only You, and I have gone from a D6 to a D4, which is, it's interesting. It's like if you've never seen one before, it's like a pyramid type, and it has all the numbers on it. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to go with the one that's on the top. Like that's your answer. I assume so. So to refresh you, if we land on number 1, it's Act Your Age, Eve Brown. Number 2, Beneath the Stars. Number 3, Paradise Problem. And number 4, Game On. Okay, if you cannot see that, it landed on number 1. That means it is Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I'm so beyond excited to reread this. This will be my 3rd time reading it. So once I read this, I will be officially caught up in every single book because I have read every single book 3 times except for this one. Eve Brown, I've only read twice. I'm so excited to be part of this world again. Another one of my squares is Talia Hibbert, so I am trying to actively read more of their books, but there's nothing wrong with going back to a favorite. I'm so excited. If you don't know what Act Your Age, Eve Brown is, or what the Brown Sister series is, every single book follows their respective sister in the Brown Sisters trio. Chloe Brown being the oldest, Danny the middle, and Eve the youngest. Now, Eve is the youngest, and she's also always treated like the youngest, something that she kind of resents. She doesn't like that her parents just treat her like a little kid. Same thing with her sisters, really. Like, they're always contradicting her. They think Eve is just silly and not to be taken seriously. So one day, after being disowned by her parents, she ends up going on a drive, and she sees this bed and breakfast, and she decides to go in and, on a whim, apply for a job. Well, the job interview doesn't go exactly as planned for her, so she ends up storming out and getting into her car. Well, little does she know, the guy that was interviewing her, they got off on the wrong foot, and he goes outside to offer her the job, and she accidentally ends up running him over. And so to make up for it, she ends up taking care of him while, he's broken. And they end up forming a bond, and is really, really cute. It's my favorite of the 3. I know that's not a very popular opinion, but I love it. She is my favorite sister of the 3. I was really excited when we got her book, and I'm really excited to reread it once again and be with some of my favorite characters of all time. Hello, okay, it's been a few days. I still have not made any more progress and learned my lesson. I have not had time to sit down and physically read. We've just been so busy, obviously with work and we've been slacking on like the household chores that we're responsible for. So we're trying to get back into the swing of things. But I wanted to update you because I have made a significant progress in my reread of Act Your Age, Eve Brown. I read most of it. Once again, I did not update the timer yet. I will at the end because I was listening to it at work. I explained before, I can't pause it like the audiobook and the timer every time. I have to stop listening to it for work reasons, so we're just going to update it at the end. But Act Your Age, Eve Brown, if you did not watch my TBR, is my reread of the month. I love this book so much, and just rereading it again for the 3rd time solidifies just how much I am loving it. Like, I love this whole series. I miss these characters. Yes, we don't see as much of the other sisters in this one, and I think maybe that is what some people have an issue with about it, but I think this is what needed to happen for Eve's book, because she's so reliant upon everybody that it was good to see her away from
the others for a little bit. We still get little snippets of them, but for the most part, she is learning to be independent and she's on her own. I love Eve's character. I love getting to see her grow and figure out things about herself, especially like certain characteristics that she sees in herself that she also sees in Jacob, because Jacob is autistic and he has like a very strict way of doing everything. And she starts to see like tiny little quirks in him that she sees in herself, all in the background, like she's telling her family members these most insane stories about her and her boss. And of course it leads to some interesting, fun, and sometimes spicy antics. I just think this is so great. I love the setting. And I think that is what I love most about this. Not only just like Eve's character and getting to watch her grow, but the setting of a bed and breakfast and just seeing the dynamic that they have and the dynamic that they have with the guests. It's very cute and sweet and wholesome. It's so cozy. I know not everybody thinks this is the best book in the trilogy, and that is totally fine. Everybody has their preference. I personally have loved Eve from the start. I was so excited when we got her book, and I am continuously excited every time I get to this one in my rereads. Oh, something else that I kind of glossed over. I mentioned that I finished If Only You, but I didn't really mention, I was correct in my original rating. We are giving it a 3-star, and that's fine. However, because I've read just like better books of that genre, and while I honestly don't know if I'm going to continue on the series, let alone reread this book, I think we are adding it to our unhaul pile. Nothing wrong with it. Think it was a great time. Did love the cover. Obviously, we chose it for a cover pick when we were doing our February TBR, which is interesting because when I went to go grab the audio book for If Only You, it was a completely different cover, and I definitely wouldn't have chosen this for a cover buy if that was the edition that I saw in store. But still, I think I'm gonna add it to my Pango within the next couple of days. But I need to, Benson is actually making dinner tonight, which is actually super sweet. I went to go take a nap because I had a pounding headache, like the kind of headache where I wasn't going to be productive at all. So I laid down, took an hour-ish nap, and now I'm feeling better, although I am starting to feel it come back. So while Benson is making dinner, I'm upstairs cleaning and getting things picked up until dinner, and then we're probably gonna have to watch a movie tonight because we have to catch up on a couple of movies actually for the podcast. So I'm probably not gonna get a ton of cleaning done, and that is totally okay because that leaves time for watching and reading. And then tomorrow I am getting my nails done. Obviously we've lost one. There has been a casualty. But I'm getting my Valentine's Day nails, and I'm so excited. I did like this set. This is not my favorite set that we have ever done, though. So I'm ready for something new and fresh. And then we have a Super Bowl party tomorrow, which I don't watch football. I don't. But we're going because Benson wants to go, and our friends are hosting. And so I have to go socialize, and that probably means sitting in the corner with the dog, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, I'm gonna go finish up what I need to do, and I will talk to you when more reading has been done. So while I don't love that we're making progress in the timer using mostly audiobooks, we have finished another audiobook, and we are now down to 11 hours and 51 minutes because of Act Your Age, Eve Brown. And honestly, I'm not mad about it. Yes, this doesn't necessarily make progress towards getting my TBR down because it is a reread, but I'm never mad about rereading this series. I love this series so much. I'm officially caught up. I've read all three times each. I just love this series so much. They have all gotten a 4.5, 5-star. And I don't know. I'm not mad about it. Although, yes, I would like to be making more progress in other books, especially the physical read, because I'm having so much fun with Learn Your Lesson. I just have not had a lot of time to sit down and physically read. Although I did get to read for like an hour last night. So I read about 50-ish pages, and I wanted to keep going, but it was already 1 a.m. Had to be up early today to finish some chores before I go get my nails done. And we have a Super Bowl party tonight. Yeah, I don't have much more to tell you right now other than a book is finished and we need to pick the next audiobook. So as far as our options, we are down to 3. So we still have to roll from our D4 because we do not have anything smaller than that. So our options are Beneath the Stars, which I kind of really don't want to read right now. Paradise Problem and Game On. I would rather, obviously, one of the shorter ones. Okay. Well, Banks said, that's what Banks thought about that one. I would definitely rather one of the shorter ones. Maybe Paradise Problem. I feel like that would be a good option. And obviously, because we only have 3 options, if we get a 4, we'll just ignore it. 2! Okay, I promise I did not cheat. But 2 is Paradise Problem. So the Paradise Problem will be the next audiobook we have on deck. Don't think I'm going to listen to it today. We have some movies that we also need to catch up on for the catch-up corner. And then I need to leave for my sister's in a little bit. So, while I finished most of what I need to get done today, I might relax for a little bit and then go to my sister's.
Hello. It is actually past Valentine's Day. It is the 15th. This vlog should have been done by now. This vlog should have been done like a week ago. But, like I said, I haven't had a lot of time to sit down and read. I've mainly been working and watching movies. And that is totally fine. I'm still getting a lot of reading done because of work. Because I've been listening to audiobooks. Which is totally fine, but there are some books that I do want to sit down and read physically. Now, speaking of audiobooks, I have finished A Paradise Problem, which I have not talked to you about because I listened to all of it today. I actually took a tiny break from this vlog to read some other romances that I knew I wasn't going to have time to fit into this, and I cannot wait to talk to you about them. But I did finish Paradise Problem, which I picked it up and I was like, oh, there was a reason that I was so intrigued by this, and I couldn't remember what it was until I picked it up and realized that it's because it's fake dating twice. So our 2 main characters get into a fake married situation for housing for school. And they really don't talk. They don't know anything about each other. Just that they both need to pretend to be married. And at the end of their college years, they end up going their separate ways. But Anna thinks that they divorced when they split up. They, however, have not. And it's been almost 5 years since then. What she does not realize is that his family is super wealthy, and when his grandfather passed away, he left all of his grandchildren trust funds, but they only have access to it if they get married and stay married for at least 5 years. So while they were fake married but like legally married, now his sister is getting married, and his family has been pestering him to bring this wife of his, and so they decide to go together. Like, he reaches out and explains the whole thing to her, and in exchange for a sum of money, she ends up agreeing to go with him. And
It's mainly for her father because we know her father is like super sick and she has to pay his medical bills. But like doing so, they realize just how much they never knew about one another. And as they learn more and more about each other, of course, they end up falling in love. This was really, really cute. I had a really, really great time with this. This wasn't like a 5-star like I was expecting, but I think it's a solid 4-star. I had a lot of fun with this. This totally redeemed The Unhoneymooners, which wasn't a bad book whatsoever, but it was a book that, like, because of the third act breakup, like, I had no interest in ever rereading, and I was really unsure about Christina Lauren after this, or after that one, because I'm like, oh, are all the third act breakups going to end up like this? Like, are they, like, going to tear my heart out? Because it, like, a bad third act breakup makes the, like, either like one part of the couple seem awful. And like there are certain situations where there is a third act breakup where after that like the relationship is not redeemable, not savable. Like you can't go back from that. And I think that is what happened with Ethan in the Unhoneymooners. Like, oh, not that like he did anything, but it was just like the way that he acted. I was like, no, no. So I ended up unhauling it because of that. But this one like made me really excited to see if there are more Christina Lauren books out there. I did love the like Anna's dynamic with his family. Like we know family is a huge thing for her, and it's not so much with him. So, well, I mean, like it is and it isn't. Like he knows that his nieces and nephews are more innocent in all of the bullshit that happens with his family. So, like, of course, he loves his nieces and nephews, but like his siblings, he really is not close to at all. His parents, absolutely not. So, she kind of brings like a light into certain aspects of the family, and it's really cute to get to see that certain aspects of the family, not all. But it's really like the one thing I think this was kind of missing was world building. Like we got a lot of character stuff, but they're on a vacation on a private island, and I kind of wanted more of that. Like I wanted like in the Unhoneymooners, we got a lot of Hawaii. We didn't get so much of the island on this one, which is fine, I guess. Like this one is definitely more character based, which I think, like I always say, like I'm a character based person, and I am. I love a character based story, but I also need some good world building. My cats are being wild now, of course, as soon as I turn on the camera. So today I have to watch 2 more movies. Well, I mean, I have to watch a couple more movies, actually a lot more movies. I think Benson is going to be streaming with some friends today. So I think I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between reading and watching. At least I'm going to try to. Like, it's already almost 3 o'clock. I did work this morning. I have to work tomorrow too, but I think I can manage to fit some stuff in. Like, I finished 2 movies last night. I think I can fit 2 in and attempt to get some reading in as well, because I just want to read. Like, yes, I have to watch movies. Like, I mean, not that I'm forcing myself, because I also want to watch them, but I also want to read so bad. Like, I want to learn my lesson so bad. Oh, I should probably mention we are down to 6 hours and 51 minutes. So, what I imagine is going to happen is we're going to learn my lesson, and then I have to decide if I want my last book to be another physical book and then we just read until the timer goes out, or if I want to pick up another audio. Either way, honestly, I think it might just be another physical book because I do have another audio on standby, though it's like, well, it is a romance. I am not going to include it for this video because we didn't roll for it, and that's okay. Hello. Okay. We are down to 5 hours and 14 minutes. And we finally finished Learn My Lesson. Obviously, if you've been keeping up until this point, you know there were other books read, but this is the first physical book that we finished. And I had a lot of fun with this. Okay, do I think this is the best book I've ever read? No. I had a lot of fun. It was, don't want to say like a silly, goofy time, but it was a good time. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with this. Or I had a lot of fun with this. It was, yes, it was very, very smutty. Like, almost every single page had some sort of sex or play scene. And Benson was wrong, by the way. So in this series, Hades and Zeus are not like people, they're titles, which obviously accounts for the fact that they are not related. So it is not an incest book. So they can shove it. Once again, like, this isn't the best thing. Like, yes, it explores themes of like feeling unwanted in a relationship and failing marriage, and they do use Hercules as like a glue to put them back together, which obviously like in the real world doesn't work. But that's why I liked this edition, because in this one it has footnotes and we get like the author's thoughts while writing these scenes, which typically like just chalk up to, I love this character. And like there are some repetitive footnotes, but like there's nothing really wrong with that. I did have a good time reading this edition, and I know there are only 3 out, where like the first 3 are the only ones that are out that have those footnotes. So I'm hoping, like, I have to look into it and see if Katie Roberts is going to publish more like that have those little added details. It's not the best thing I've ever read. It was a fun time. I'm definitely going to keep it on my shelves, but it was probably like a 3.5 star, like, objectively, because while we do have those conversations, they're not really fixed with anything other than sex, which like is the point of this book. Like, it's not supposed to be super deep. It is supposed to be just a smutty, fun time, and that's exactly what it is. Now, I did roll the dice again, but I need to have another conversation with you. Not that it really applies to this vlog, so I have been reading some romances on the side that I knew I wasn't going to get to in this vlog, and I started Beneath the Stars. I think it's a DNF. Okay, something that I have learned about myself as I have started reading is, while I don't have any like super hard triggers in books, like I can read a lot of scenes while of course feeling things that like they expect you to, that they don't bother me enough to want to stop reading. But I think I'm finding that, okay, I know this sounds super cheesy to say. A lot of people say this when they're trying to like show off some, like when they're just, I don't know, when they're trying to show off sympathy instead of like seeming like it's real. But something that I've discovered over myself is, I think I am an empath. Meaning, when our characters feel certain things, I feel certain things. And one of the things that I've realized that I feel major anxiety while reading or watching is like a character's downfall, and that includes like relationship downfalls. So like if I know a character is addicted to drugs, like before I pick it up, I can read it and see it, but I can't read like the start. Like when they're promised, like when they have a promising future and then they start picking up drugs for one reason or another. Second chance romances I'm normally fine with, because we don't see the beginning of like where it all went to shit. But in Beneath the Stars we do. We get the first half is when they are kids and when they're growing up and eventually start to have a relationship together, and we got to the point where he is starting to distance himself from her, and there's another girl in there that, while he shows no interest in her, she definitely shows interest in him, and Alina knows that he's hiding something from her, although it's not what she thinks. Like, he doesn't cheat on her physically, but it definitely seems like there's some emotional cheating going on because she is addicted to drugs and he's trying to save her. And of course, like, he agreed not to tell anybody, and that includes Alina, and I don't know, it's giving me anxiety. And I think, like, while it I know, so to some people it might seem silly, like, it's not real, like, this shouldn't be affecting you that much, but like, it does, and it makes it really hard to want to pick up the book. And I just think, why keep this book on the shelf when you don't know if you're going to finish it, when you don't know if you're even going to keep it at the end? I think I'm just going to DNF and add it to the Pango. With the 5 hours and 15 minutes we have left, we are going to be trying to read a physical book, because most of what we've read this month has been audio. And there's nothing wrong with audiobooks, but I do love a good physical read. So what we have left, because I've read a few behind the scenes, so let's talk about what we read behind the scenes first. I did read Game On, Funny Story, and that's it. So we read a couple, meaning what we have left is Till Summer Do Us Part, The Black Rose Auction, War, What I Should Have Said, and How My Neighbor Stole Christmas, though I'm really hoping we don't get that one. 5. So we have 5 options. I have my D6 here. If we get a 6, we'll just ignore it. What did I just say? If we get a 6, we'll just ignore it. And let's see, one more time. 1. Till Summer Do Us Part. Oh, I promise I rolled a 1. Till Summer Do Us Part. Okay, I need to read this one anyway because it is one of the few that is on the TBR. But I definitely will not finish it with the 5 hours that we have left because it's a chunky book. Do I know what Till Summer Do Us Part is about? No. But I am excited to finally, well, finally I say, but like, it was like a more recent purchase. But I'm excited to read it. We are making so much progress on this, the romance section of my spreadsheet. Like, I could potentially finish it by the end of the month. Although I realized afterwards that there were some romance books on my TBR cart that we forgot about. Like, I did not add A Court of the Vampire Queen, which is also by Katie Robert. Or what else was it? Oh, My Funny Demon Valentine, which is also on my TBR card. So I might try to read those, like, again, behind the scenes, or for something different. I don't think I really have any other vlogs planned this month. I mean, I did, but this one kind of took up a lot of time. Yeah, so I will be jumping into Till Summer Do Us Part, and I will let you know when either I finish it or when the time runs out, whichever comes first. We are not done with this vlog yet. We still have an hour and 54 minutes, which I got this timer for my timer challenges from now on, because I did decide, like, I want to do more of these. And sometimes it's really hard with my phone because either my phone dies or I, like, don't want my phone to be around me, so I have it on the other side of the room. So I just decided to get a timer, and I think this will make it so much easier and definitely help me with my reading, because, like, I have been reading just, like, on times where I can't, you know, pause or start my timer, like if my phone is not around me, then I'm reading something else that's not for the vlog, and that doesn't really help. But I wanted to talk before I came back and finished this. We have made 160 pages worth of progress. So I wanted to talk to you about what this was about, because last we spoke I didn't know. this is about Scotty Price. She works as an editor in this golfing magazine, and it's not really what she wants to do. Like, she loves to edit, but she doesn't want to edit for golf. Like, she doesn't really know anything about golf, whatever. But she does really want to impress her boss. And one day, her boss is in the office, and all of her coworkers and her boss are chatting and shooting the shit, and they're really bonding over all being married, and she feels a little left out, so she mentions something about being married. Well, one of her coworkers points out that she doesn't wear a ring and that they all know she's not married and that she doesn't need to lie, and she ends up, like, she goes for it and basically says, well, my marriage is in trouble, so thanks for pointing that out. Like, I don't really talk about him because we are in a rocky place right now. And that ends with her boss offering up the services of her husband, who is a marriage counselor. He has never had, like, he's never had anybody complain about him. He has 100% success rate. And so, of course, now she's stuck. Now she has to go find a fake husband. And she does. Her best friend's brother, who is an actor, and he's been, well, not an actor, he's like he's retired, but he wants to be an actor. He wants to work on his improv and everything, and he ends up saying, yeah, sure, why not? He lives for life, and it's actually really cute. And he goes into this not really knowing exactly what he's saying, and he ends up talking his way into getting them onto this 8-day couples retreat. So it's an 8-day marriage camp. And oh, it's interesting to say the least. This is like, so there is a lot of sex mentioned, although we haven't had any spicy scenes yet. Like, the cabin that they end up staying in is like covered in sexual paraphernalia. And of course she's a little bit of a prude on the outside. Like, she's uncomfortable talking about sex. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm saying at all. That it is what the, like, how the book is describing her. But she's like, she's not for this whatsoever. But it is definitely rom-commy, because some of the things, like, in the arguments that they get into, like, because they're arguing for the sake of arguing. Like, he is such a sunshine, like, golden retriever guy. Like, he's just here to be here. And she's such, like, a black cat person, very pessimistic, very much does not want to be here, very much cannot believe that she talked herself into doing this and talked him into doing this with her. And it's so interesting to see, like, that dynamic at this camp, and it is so rom-commy. Like, Benson was just, we were just upstairs taking a nap, and Benson was asleep while I was reading, and I had to try so hard not to laugh and wake him up. Like, like, this book is really getting me. It's funny, it's cute. I am loving the banter. Like, the arguments that they have to make up are so ridiculous, because, like, neither of them know, like, what to say as to why their relationship is in danger, because, like, they're, like, neither of them want to look bad in this situation, especially Scotty. Like, she doesn't want to come off as being, like, the worst person, the worst uptight person imaginable, like, especially in the eyes of her boss and her coworkers who are also at this camp. Like, it's just such a fun high jinky time. Like, I would have kept reading, but I do have to start making dinner, so I think while things are cooking and, like, I don't need to be actively paying attention, I might read a little bit more and then read some more after dinner. And the plan is to read tonight until the timer stops. So it is Sunday. It's the last day of vacation technically, but we are getting a massive snowstorm. So I don't have to work tomorrow, so I can stay up as late as possible. And so I think I'm gonna read some more now while something is defrosting. And then when I have to stand up and cook, I'll stop the timer, I guess. And the next time that I talk to you should be us wrapping up this vlog. Although I know for a fact I'm not going to finish the rest of this before the timer goes off. So we'll see what we get up to. We are officially ending this vlog. The timer has gone off. It is turned off now. And we have made it 255 pages through Till Summer Do Us Part. But of course, that's not all we managed to accomplish in this vlog. For this vlog, we ended up reading 4.5 books. And honestly, I'm not mad about it. Am I a little disappointed that most of them were audio? Yes. But also no. Because I still consumed the exact same story. I know audiobooks are not cheating. I live by audiobooks are not cheating. But I personally would like more downtime to just sit and read. So that's all I'm saying about that. Don't take my words as I'm disappointed that audiobooks are a thing, because that is not the case. Overall, first of all, we finally finished a 24-hour reading challenge, which is amazing because usually we cut it off at like a certain time because we need to upload it. But we finished it, and well, I read 4 books. Like, I don't want to say only 4 books. Like, I managed to read a lot, like, off screen. Like, I was still reading romances off screen and, like, in downtime that I knew I wasn't going to fit into this vlog. So we still got a lot off of the TBR. One of those 4 books, though, was a reread, so it didn't, like, count towards getting books off of my physical TBR. But still, 4.5 books off of the TBR for my romance section. Plus, I think I read 2 or 3, no, 2, that, like, I didn't even read for this TBR was amazing. Like, plus the 1 DNF. Like, I'm actively getting through, like, this has made me, first of all, this, like, I don't want to say it's reinvigorated my love of reading, because, like, that hasn't gone away, at least in a long time. I don't want to jinx myself, but I haven't been in, like, a slump in a very, very long time, and I'm happy about that. Like, I don't want to jinx it or anything, but this has just, like, reinvigorated my love of wanting to read on my physical shelf. Like, I haven't done a read it or delete it in a long time, and that's because I have been wanting to consume, like, what is actively on my shelf and what is actively, like, getting down the numbers on my spreadsheet, which is amazing. Like, I think, oh gosh, I don't even know what I have left, like, in the column for my romance. I think obviously I have Till Summer Do Us Part. I also have what I should have said. Like, I have, like, a handful of romances left. But this is just, like, really made me want to go through. I'm already planning on doing another one of these in March, which is why I got the timer to begin with. Because the idea of trying to read, like, trying to, like, black out the columns on my spreadsheet is really making me want to read, like, the books that I physically own. And I'm not mad about that. Like, usually I'm, like, of the mindset that, yes, I would like to read the books that I physically own, but as long as I'm reading, it doesn't really matter. Right now, I just want to read everything that I own. And I'm having a really, really, really good time doing that. So even though I did not finish this vlog in, like, the timeliest manner, I'm still not mad about what I was able to accomplish. Now, like I said, I do want to do more of these. So we do have another one coming up in March. We are going to be focusing on my sci-fi, which I have a lot less of than romance, or at least I did. And then I actively went through and looked at like books that I had not added to my spreadsheet that I might want to read, and most of which were Benson's books. So I updated the spreadsheet. Plus I added, like, we did the exact same thing, like I numbered 1 through whatever on a sheet, and then we're gonna do the D20 because I have added all of the books on my physical TBR, plus the couple library books that I got that were sci-fi that I'm gonna try to read in March as well, and some that were on, or one that was on my Kindle, because I do also want to actively start reading books that are on my Kindle, whether they are Stuff Your Kindle Day event books or like Kindle Unlimited, although I prefer to do the Stuff Your Kindle because I actively own those. So that's another thing that we are going to be attempting to read, like, in the year of 2026. All I know is, like, I'm beyond excited right now to just be reading, and I'm having a really great time with accomplishing all of my goals, like not just reading but like watching things for the Ketchup Corner podcast. Like, my love of content creating is coming back, and that is an accomplishment. Although like I've been sitting here and like, okay, so the laptop, I prefer to edit on the laptop that we had, but the editing software that we were using needed an update, and it looks like it is now incompatible with the laptop we were using, or like there's something on the laptop that we have to change. And I am not a very tech savvy person. Like, I know some very few basic things, but I'm not like super 100% tech savvy, so I don't know what needs to be updated on that end in order to fix it. So I've been editing on Benson's PC, and like, I don't love editing on the PC. Not that there's anything wrong with it, I just prefer to be able to sit wherever I want and edit like where I want. So like, it's making the editing process a lot harder. Plus, like, I think it might be time to invest into a camera eventually. Like, I love having my phone and the comfort of my phone, but it makes transferring things from my phone to a laptop to the PC a lot harder. Either way, I'm happy. I'm happy to be back. I need to get this edited, and I need to get I haven't even posted the TBR. I don't know. I'm like sitting down. I do need to sit down and figure out a couple of videos for March, because I do have some already filmed and planned, but I think I'm missing, like, I think I need like 3 videos. So if anybody has any ideas on videos that they would like to see in March, besides a March TBR and a February wrap up, and obviously the sci-fi 24-hour readathon, then let me know in the comments, because I could use some ideas. But thank you so much for hanging out with me with this wild adventure. I will see you all in the next one.